Fighting for survival is one of the basic principles of life in the animal kingdom. Animals fight for food, for mates, and sometimes just for fun. They can be bloody and brutal, but equally gripping to watch. Animals sometimes fight to the death to secure their status in a group, and even if they survive, they can suffer some serious damage in the process. Well, sometimes the animals that form rivalries in the wild are more evenly matched than you might expect, resulting in clashes where the winner can vary depending on the given situation. Now, if a bear runs into a pack of wolves, the result can be both of them avoiding each other. That is because they both understand that there is no good that can come from starting a fight, which will result in both getting badly wounded. But there is one situation where this isn't the case, when both species are starving during the winter and are fighting over a fresh carcass. Bears are much larger than wolves. So, if a lone wolf runs into a bear, it is likely that it would run away knowing that it didn't stand a chance. However, wolves have one great advantage. They hunt in packs. When the wolves work together, even the enormous grizzly bear will choose to walk in the opposite direction. Another example of working in a pack is with hyenas. As a pack, they can go up against a fully grown lion. If you've seen the Lion King film, you'll definitely remember the rivalry between the lions and the sniggering hyenas. Although they were scared of the larger Mufasa, they had no problem chasing little Simba. You probably think that lions are much stronger than hyenas, so a fight between the two would be unfair, but in reality, it all depends on the situation. Hyenas and lions have hunted the same prey and carcasses since the beginning of their long history. When two species of animals fight for the same food, especially in a place that is inhospitable, tensions can arise. Although it is true that lions are far stronger than hyenas, the hyena population is much bigger, and therefore multiple hyenas are capable of killing a lion. When it comes to bravery, there is no match for mongooses. It would be safe to assume that no animal would be crazy enough to face a venomous snake, right? Well, the mongoose would prove all of us wrong, as they often face cobras. And what is more astonishing is that they often win. Mongooses are often found in Africa. They range from 7 inches to 2 feet in length, depending on the species. They will eat just about anything, although their favorites are birds, mice, frogs, reptiles, and insects, as well as fruits, nuts, and seeds. They are incredibly clever hunters, even learning to open bird eggs by tossing them against stones and trees. So why would a creature that usually preys on small animals want to face off against a poisonous snake? Well, they take advantage of a special receptor that makes them completely immune to the snake's venom. This skill puts the mongoose ahead of its adversary, allowing it to claw and bite until the cobra is dead. Male American alligators can reach 12 feet and can weigh up to 1,000 pounds, although that is relatively rare. Burmese pythons, on the other hand, range from 16 to 23 feet and weigh 200 pounds. This intimidating snake will kill its prey by constriction, squeezing it until it suffocates to death. They are also fantastic swimmers and are able to stay underwater for up to 30 minutes at a time. When coming up against an alligator in its habitat, the one hurdle the python must overcome is the tough bony armor plates of the reptile, something that some pythons don't manage to do. It's fair to say that American alligators and Burmese pythons will rarely fight each other, but when they do, either can win the fight and eat the other. The only difference is that the alligator will chew his food up, while the python will swallow the reptile whole. Ranging from 8 to 13 feet, African elephants are the biggest land animals in the world. They can weigh a staggering 14,000 pounds and eat 300 pounds of food every single day. Keeping in mind that they don't eat meat, can you imagine how much vegetation you would need to eat 300 pounds a day? Rhinoceroses are smaller, but that definitely doesn't mean that they are tiny. They range from 4 to 6 feet long and can weigh up to 3,000 pounds. These two African giants often fight over the same space, which means that they come face to face for a fight more often than you might think. Elephants are usually peaceful creatures, but during their must period, which is when their sex hormones are increased for mating purposes, this grey giant can turn aggressive. This is when they will happily fight a rhino, crushing it with their incredible weight. In the year 2000, a group of young elephants at an African safari park reportedly killed 36 rhinos. Specialists believe that the reason for the group's violence was due to a lack of adult elephants influencing their decisions. Polar bears are giant beasts from the Arctic, and an adult can reach up to 8 feet in length and weigh up to 1,600 pounds. Polar bears usually prefer to hunt seals, but when food is scarce due to harsh winters, they choose to go for something a little larger. A walrus is dangerous prey for a polar bear due to the furious and powerful way it attacks. They range from 7 to 11 feet in length and can weigh an unbelievable 1.5 tons. Their most powerful weapons are the 2 3-foot-long tusks that can be used as devastating weapons. When a polar bear tries to attack a walrus, anything can happen. Although the bear is stronger and is a natural predator, there have been times when a dead polar bear has been found with injuries caused by walrus tusks. The polar bear will only attack if it is starving or desperate, which does give the walrus an advantage if they have more energy. The rivalry between ants and termites is probably something we all consider unfair, but before we get into why that is the case, it's important to know about the home of the termite. Hundreds of the little bugs will team up together to build mounds that can reach over 17 feet in height. Although you could probably come up with a few other rivals for these little creatures, it turns out that the biggest threat to termites is the rain. They can take 5 years to build a single mound, only to see it turn to slop with a heavy downfall. Luckily, any damage done to their home is communicated with their fellow workers who attempt to patch it up. When it comes to their rivalry with ants, however, it comes down to them seeing termites as nothing more than a great food source, making a group of ants a nightmare for them. They often take over the termite mounds to use them as their own homes, eating up every termite that gets in their way. Termites don't stand much of a chance against an army of ants. Their only choice of defense is to stop the invaders in the first place. Termites will usually lose this battle, as the burrowing skills of the ant are unrivaled, although the termites sometimes manage to seal off some of the nest to allow parts of the colony to survive. Giant Asian hornets, as their name states, are huge hornets that can fly up to 15 miles per hour. They prefer to feed their young honeybee larvae, which causes an incredible clash between the two species. Asian giant hornets invade honeybee hives searching for their larvae, not hesitating to destroy everything along the way. In fact, things can get downright ugly as they cut the bees' heads off with their pincer-like mandibles. When the bees try to fight back and sting their enemies, they cannot pass through the hornet's impenetrable armor. It is believed that a single hornet can take out about 20 bees per minute. At this point, you are probably thinking that the bees have no way of defending themselves. Well, the reality is, they have developed an incredible defense against these cruel attackers. When a hornet discovers a hive, the bees don't do a single thing to try and stop it. Instead, they allow them to fly right inside so that they fall for their trap. They quickly surround the hornet, forming a bee pylon, and start to vibrate until the heat generated cooks the hornet to death. This just goes to show that it's not always about size within the animal kingdom. Are you a fan of videos like this one? Why not hit the subscribe button and ring the notification bell? That way, you'll never miss out on one of our future videos. I think we've seen enough brutal rivalries between wild animals for today. Now let's have a look at some peaceful creatures out there in the wild. One such animal is the capybara, which has made friends with virtually every other animal, even crocodiles, and can be seen riding atop one here. To learn all about this peaceful creature, watch our video on your screen now.